It's time again to go on vacation. We are taking this Model Y long range to Whistler, Canada. It's about 600 miles or so from here. But today we're only heading just about Seattle, maybe past Seattle. So about 500 miles. And then we'll do the other couple hours tomorrow. Let's go. So we have this Model Y long range. This is a 2021. It's a loaner car. Got about 46,000 miles on it. So it's not brand spanking new or anything. It's used. And today we're heading west, which is easy to go west from the Missoula, Montana area because there's a bunch of chargers going this direction. Going east, you gotta head to Butte to make it, which is a good 150 miles from here. But going west, we got so many chargers. We will be skipping chargers at some point, so super easy. We're gone for about 10 days. This is our Model S, our 2013 with 230,000 miles on it almost. It will be sitting there plugged in, and it's only plugged in because it's actually down to 40% right now, and we don't have time to charge it up and then park it off to the side again. Wow, oh, if you can see it back there is our Model 3, and our Model 3 is charged up to 80%, so it just will sit there not plugged in. That's no big deal, so you can let these cars sit real easy like that. No big deal whatsoever. So, this one here, well, yeah, as I said, we'll be making it to Seattle and then maybe head north some towards the Canadian border. And then tomorrow we have an appointment actually in Vancouver, Canada. And then after that, we drive up to Whistler. So we'll be visiting Canada and I'll keep you updated on this car. I actually have not driven a Model Y before, except for yesterday or so, since we got this. But so it will be a little bit different. The miles, the range should be very similar to our Model 3. This has a little bigger battery than our Model 3. Our Model 3 has a 75 kilowatt hour battery. I'm not 100% sure what this has. I would have to figure that out. I think it's 80 or 85 kilowatt hours because the battery's been getting bigger without Tesla telling us, because they just called it a long range and they no longer said what kilowatt hour battery actually is in it like they used to with our with the 2013s, 14s, the earlier Model S. They used to actually say about what size battery is in it. So we're not fully charged since we got so many charges. We're at 93% right now. It's 10:07 in the morning, 60 degrees. So pretty darn good conditions for driving. We got sunshine, so there's not much heat that will be needed to keep us warm in here at all. 60 degrees is not too bad for the battery, so everything is basically just perfect. We just need to get going. We gotta finish up one little thing in there, so we'll be leaving in about 10 minutes or so with the 93% here. And I guess I gotta go into the trips here, and I should reset this trip A so we know a little bit more what we're actually doing. And the Tesla does it nice. You see the current drive and the since charge. So you get these automatically, but for the total trip, I'm going to reset trip A. And then, so in about 10 minutes, we'll go off here and, well, I'll keep you up to date. And I want to give a quick shout out to EV Checked here. We have our EV Checked with us. This isn't a little baggie, so there's something in there. If you're not familiar with EV Checked, we have a video about this EV Check. This is what keeps you safe at the charger. If you need to have an emergency exit at a Tesla Supercharger, well, you can't drive away. You got to get out and unplug your car, right? Unless you have EV Checked. We have a video about that. There's a link down below in the description. It's probably one popping up at the top of the screen as well. Go watch that video. We do have a link down in the description, and you get a discount if you order with our link right there and use our discount code. So you want to have one of those whenever you're going to a supercharger. So in case whatever happens, if a two-legged or four-legged predator shows up, a natural catastrophe of sorts, or something's happening with this, you can get away. So you want an EV Checked. I'm telling you, this is a must-have thing for your Tesla. And don't just think about yourself, think about your wife, spouse, best friend, children, whatever, your parents, your grandparents, okay, get them one too. So down below in the description there is a link and a discount code, so get yourself an EV checked. We arrived at the Spokane Supercharger, and there's, according to this, 4 stalls available. It is kind of busy, so we made it here. We did some bladder exercises and stretched ourselves to get here. We did 191 miles to get here, used 48 kilowatt hours at 249 watt hours per mile average, so that is pretty darn efficient. It is now here 12:36 Pacific time, so that's 1:36 Mountain time, and it is 84 degrees. The temperature's been pretty good almost all the way until about Spokane. Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, it started warming up a little, so we could be very efficient there. And we skipped multiple superchargers and made it here now. So we could even have skipped this one here and made it to Sprague, Washington, which is another 40 miles, but our bladders will not do. So now let's get plugged in. And we are using the EV checked. There we go. It's blinking. Let's see what we're getting. So it says 25 minutes remaining, charge limit 80%. We have no navigation in use at this point, okay? We've been kind of going forward and back. I put Seattle in at some point, and I just put the navigation in briefly to basically make sure it will precondition the battery for faster charging. But there are so many chargers heading from the Missoula, Montana area west on I-90. Heck, you really don't need the navigation. There is plenty of chargers around. And we're going full blast here. Oh, I just dropped the smidgen, but it was 252. So we're going over 1,000 miles per hour charging right now. 25 minutes to 80% is nothing. We don't need that much. There's a bunch more chargers coming up to, going west on I-90, but I'm gonna set the charge limit up to 100% because we need to go to the bathroom and stuff. So it will probably make 80% while we're here, so chances are pretty big. So well, I'll update you before we leave. We're already up to 68%. It is 12:53, 85 degrees showing here now. It warmed up a little bit under the hood, so this may be a little higher. We're currently still going at 90 kilowatts here. It says 30 minutes remaining to 100%. But if we're looking at this here, I put navigation in for Seattle, and it says we can make it to Quincy with 26% already. So we're right there, and this is Quincy. There's a Moses Lake we definitely skip, and somewhere in there Sprague, I think. So again, we'll be skipping superchargers, and we didn't wait on the car at all. So let's get this unplugged and then we'll get on the way. Don't forget, go down below in the description and click the link and use our discount code to get an EV checked. We made it up to 71%, 12:55, and we should arrive in Quincy with 28% in about an hour and 40 minutes, 120 miles. here at the 12 stall supercharger in George, and it's behind this microtel hotel. Navigation said to go to Quincy. Quincy is just about 2 miles from here, and there's nothing besides a gas station in Quincy. Been there many times. I have not been here in George at this one. So I decided to come here. The one in Quincy is actually a Magic Dock supercharger where you could charge your CCS electric car as well. So, but we came here and we got plenty of charge left here, 21%. It is now 2:44 p.m. This is Pacific time, and it is 91 degrees, so it warmed up quite a bit. After Spokane, this is a pretty darn boring drive. The speed limit in Washington here is only 70 miles an hour, and so as you know, I'm going 2 miles per hour above the speed limit according to the speedometer. So we were going 72. A lot of people passed us. Some people were about the same speed as we were, but we made it here. And so for the Canada trip now, we are 315 miles in. We got 80 kilowatt hours used so far, 255 watt hours per mile, so that is really good. Only going 70 obviously is great for the efficiency. If we would go 80, that would look a little bit different. We would probably be in the 270 range or so, but going 70, we obviously cruise along really efficient here. So since the last charge now, that was 124 miles, we used 33 kilowatt hours, and we averaged 264 watt hours per mile. So now it's time to get the EV checked out and plug in and probably find a bathroom again. We actually could have skipped this charger here because the 21% would have taken us to Ellensburg. According to the navigation, we would have arrived with 4%, which is plenty, but the bladder called and we need to get out and wake up again anyway, so we just stop here and get a little charge here. I believe it's at like 15 or 20 minutes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We could stop in Ellensburg again. As I said, from Missoula heading west on I-90, there are plenty of Tesla Superchargers, so it's super easy. And here is our EV checked. Just plug her in like this. Press the button as always to open. Press down here, plug in, and wait for this blue light there to start blinking. Oh, there we go. It's a little hard to see in the sun. Then we can let go. It's already charging. And this here allows us to drive away without unplugging in an emergency. Go down below in the description. There is a link as well as a discount code, and get your own EV checked to stay safe while supercharging. Here we go. It says 50 minutes remaining, and that is to 100%. We're going at 254 kilowatts there, so way over 1,000 miles per hour charging here, so super fast. We don't need to charge to 100%. obviously. We can go back into the navigation and let's just choose Seattle again, see what it says here. So now it says estimated charge time 20 minutes to continue trip. So it is 2:48 now right here. So about 3:10 we should definitely be ready to go, and that would take us all the way to Seattle according to this, but we could leave sooner. And again, like I said, there's Ellensburg, and I don't know what else. There's a whole bunch of Tesla Superchargers from Missoula going west on I-90, so super easy. Well, we'll get charged up and I'll give you the stats before we leave. We're back. We got some shakes over here at Fat Burger, and the car says 2 minutes remaining to continue trip. So we're basically ready because we just put Seattle in as a destination. Wherever it goes in Seattle, I don't even know, but there are more chargers, and in Seattle there are tons of chargers, so it doesn't matter. We're definitely ready to go. We got 75%, so we just need to unplug and get going, and hopefully it's a little cooler in Seattle than it is here. Here it still shows 91 degrees, and according to this we got what, about 148 miles to go. It says here 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's a long time for 148 miles. Not sure what the heck's going on there, but whatever. We'll get going, and then we'll see anyway. We'll spend the night somewhere, probably north of Seattle, whatever. We'll find that out. So now it's time to unplug and get out of here. We're already at 76% now, so let's get out of here. North Bend, Washington Supercharger here at the TA truck stop. I chose this because of my bladder, not because the car needs it. The car actually would have went to Kirkland, Washington, which is probably another, I don't remember, 20 miles or so at least. We are still good here with 28%. It is now already 6:13, 74 degrees out, so the temperature is nice. And look at this, 119 miles, 3 hours and 4 minutes. Woof. So when we put Seattle into the navigation and it talked about 3 hours or so for 148 miles, well, yes, it was right. There was, I don't know really what was going on, but there was construction and stuff. There was stop and go traffic on the interstate. The car actually took us around, so my navigation settings, I think if we save more than 15 minutes, we make a detour, I think it's set to. So yeah, we went through streets and things. It was kind of interesting where it took us, but we kept on driving most of the time. But yeah, it took forever and ever and ever. And it's definitely time for a bathroom break. We should be in Seattle by now, but we're not quite there yet, but pretty close. So far today we done already 434 miles, used 112 kilowatt hours, and we averaged 259 watt hours per mile. That's not too bad. Here on our last drive we were 270 watt hours per mile. A little higher. The stop and go had sometimes some harsh accelerations in there. Also we came over the pass. So yeah, but now it's time for a break, and we'll just charge up here and we'll see. I mean, we don't need to charge to a specific number because there's a bunch of chargers here coming up in the Seattle area, and so we just need to get something. Well, we need to go to the bathroom, and while we're doing this we might as well charge. So well, we'll get our EV checked out and plug in here. And here we go, the EV checked is in, and this allows us to drive away without unplugging this in an emergency. You should have one of those, so go down below in the description. There is a link and a discount code. Get yourself one, get your family one, get everybody one. I unplugged already. We are at 76%. It came up pretty quick. There's a big truck stop, but very few bathrooms, so that took a while. But yeah, we're getting back on the road towards Seattle, and we'll see. We don't know yet where we're spending the night or where we're stopping next. Like I said, there's plenty of chargers now. With 76%, we can go at least 150 some miles easily, so we'll see how far we get. It is now 6:36 and shows 74 degrees. I guess the temperature came up because we're parked here. Not that it's an actual 74. I think it's still the 71 that it showed when we got here. But well, interesting at this stop also is that actually over there, right in that there's a Ioniq 5 and a Tesla Model 3 parked. Over here is a Model X driving away. There is a 2013 or 2012 Model S in green. It looks black from here. And then somewhere over that way, oh yeah, over there is a Rivian SUV. So lots of EVs around here. So all right, let's go. Washington, at the Supercharger, and this is a little different setup here. So they're all pull-ins, and you pull in one from each side, so quite a bit different than what the usual is. We still have plenty here, 42%. It's 8:05 now and only about 66 outside. So currently we are navigating to Vancouver, Canada. Estimated charge time is 0. So that tells you the car don't need anything, but we're hungry. We're going to Olive Garden here, so gonna have some dinner, and then we'll see. Currently it says 9:37 to get to Vancouver, another 80 miles according to the navigation here. But so yeah, we'll see. Now we're going for dinner. We're plugging in here, and we'll set this, make sure this is set to 100% right there. So hopefully, well, probably it'll be full before we're done, so I might have to move it. We'll find out. So but now we plug in and go to dinner. All right, plans have changed. We're actually here at the Days Inn, if you can see that, right next to a taco place. Well, the car was fully charged. It was at 100%. Now it's at 99. We just drove, what, 1 mile over here. So yeah, we're going to bed. We're tired. We decided not to go all the way up to Canada today. We put on 526 miles today, used 135 kilowatt hours with an average of 257 watt hours per mile. But we're too tired to make the rest of the trip, so we'll get that in the morning. Now I don't necessarily want to let that sit at 99% here, so I'm going to use the app to turn the heater on and set the temperature pretty high, and see if I can burn off about 9% here. 90 should be fine, but I don't want to let it sit at 100. This is really not great for the battery, and yeah, it's not my car, but I still want to take care of it. So but now we're going to bed, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Another beautiful day, or maybe not so much. It's all a little gray around here. The buildings are kind of gray, the sky is gray, everything's gray. I guess we ain't in Kansas anymore. So we keep on going today up to Canada. We're just north of Seattle, and the car is currently charged to 95%. Let's see what it shows here. At the 95, it's 8 in the morning, and it shows 62 degrees out. And so we'll get going towards Canada. we're here finally in Whistler. Yeah, not much nature around here, all concrete. We're in the parking structure of the resort we're staying at. We finally made it after Vancouver, and yeah, well, we're here. It was a nice drive up here on the Sea to Sky highway. It was a little overcast, but that was all right. We haven't charged any since last night, since the 95%. We did a couple stops in Vancouver. We had an appointment there, and we did a stop here in Whistler to have lunch before we came here. We just kept on driving and looked at the percentage here, and we still have 29% at this point, and it's nice and cool up here. At 3:39 in the afternoon, it's 67, so this is pretty good. And well, if you notice this, look at this, we got great fuel consumption, 160 watt-hours. Well, just kidding. Well, not really, it's per kilometer. So the nice thing is when you come to Canada, you can switch that, or when you go down to Mexico, wherever, you can just go press here your car icon, oops, bring this up, go to the display, and then you scroll down, and then somewhere where, oops, where is it? Here we go. We can switch that back to miles, and now all this here is in miles. So we driven a total of 685 miles to get here, used 177 kilowatt hours, and we averaged 258 watt hours per mile. 258 is not too bad for this car with 3 people in it and being loaded and stuff. So overall, not bad. Pretty happy with that. We can here look at since the last charge, we drove 160 miles since last night, and we averaged 263, just slightly higher than the total average. So overall pretty good. The consumption is actually amazing for the size the car is, so that is pretty darn good. And the range is about the same as our Tesla Model 3, our 2018. So yeah, they're very comparable. And so on this trip, if you have watched the whole thing, you noticed I didn't use the navigation as I done in many other trips. I just, in the beginning, we just went, there is plenty of superchargers going west from where we live to the coast, and then Seattle, and up here tons of superchargers everywhere. We skipped so many superchargers, where in Montana usually we have to hit every one of them. Here we could skip them, we didn't have to worry about it at all, and so we didn't really look at that much because it's not necessarily needed. Okay, in areas where you have tons of superchargers, you can kind of play it by ear. Let's get this out of the way. So you have your screen here with your navigation stuff. You tap on here, then you tap up here where this little lightning icon is, and then the superchargers pop up, and you can see them right on here. There's a list on the side here that tells you what they are: 250, 72 kilowatts max, whatever. It tells you the price and how much or how far they are away from you, and you can see them here on the map. So you can just choose whatever you want. And so we got a supercharger here, there in Whistler number, well, it shows the 7 right there, so that's where we can go charge right here. Right now we don't need any, we got 29%, so that's fine. We just leave it sitting here for now. It won't use much here in this parking structure because it's not getting cold, it's not getting hot in here really, so it'll be just fine right here, and we just leave it sit. Not sure when we use the car again. We'll drive back in about 8 days from here, but yeah, until then we'll just enjoy our stay here, and well, I'll see you in 8 days in the next video. So make sure to give us a thumbs up for this video. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. Go back, look at the other travel videos that we have. We have travel videos with the Model 3, with the Model S, with the Chevy Bolt BUV. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there, so you can get a better feel for traveling with an electric car. It's actually super simple, especially with a Tesla with so many superchargers around here. So well, now it's time to go upstairs, and well, in any event, thank you for watching. Goodbye.